Regulation 48 as well. The judgment declares the petitioner absent from the relocated collation center, a fatal breach of natural justice. But here, the true outrage that exposes this judgment as a sham, the court deliberately, systematically ignored Regulation 48.2 of CI 127. And what does CI 127 say? Let me state the law clearly. Regulation 48.2 states unambiguously that the non-attendance of candidates or agent does not invalidate acts lawfully done by the returning officer. This is what Regulation 48 says. Yet, the judge had to void the entire elections, annul all the entire elections. Why? Because the candidate wasn't there. The agents were not there. So the judge had to annul the result and call for a rerun. This is black letter law. It exists for a vital reason. But the reason why we have Regulation 48.2 is to prevent a candidate's deliberate absence from becoming a weapon to void elections. The Electoral Commission's witness affirmed this under cross-section. Yet, this judge scandalously ignored it, allowing a general principle to brazenly trump an express statutory provision. This is not interpretation. This is dictatorship from the bench. Clearly, in this case, you could see that the burden of proof was cynically manipulated by this judge. Observe the court's cynical double standards. It refused to find the petitioner led the vandalism that forced the EC to relocate the collation center, claiming there were insufficient evidence. It declared it would not speculate. But then, miraculously, when assessing whether irregularities affected the results, speculation became acceptable. Vague, unsubstantiated assertions were deemed sufficient. The petitioner produced no credible alternative tally. He called no agents from the disputed polling stations. He never demonstrated how the 500 votes could overturn a 3,734 vote lead, almost 4,000. Yet, this judge granted the most drastic relief possible, voiding the entire elections, disenfranchising thousands, and rewarding the petitioner for his evidentiary failure. In many shocking ways, this is perversion of burden of proof. It is a classic case of brazen judicial malpractice. Let us now examine the most consequential failure, its reckless abandonment of the constitutional duty to act proportionally. Section 19, again, let me make this, let me refer you to Section 19 of the PNDC Law 284, gives the High Court only 3 tightly framed choices: cancel the elections, seat another candidate, or dismiss the petition. This is not arbitrary menu. It is sacred, limited grant of power, because these choices directly touch Article 42, right of every citizen to vote and to be counted, and the court is constitutionally bound by Article 23 and 296 to use that power cautiously, fairly, and in a manner that preserves the voter's real choice whenever the law makes it possible. Ladies and gentlemen, our jurisprudence is unequivocal on how this duty must operate. In Ennis versus Electoral Commission, the court found the returning officer had breached the law. Yet, instead of voiding the entire pool, it used Section 19B to declare the petitioner duly elected, emphasizing that a whole election could not be invalidated if the results still reflect the majority will. This principle was elevated to the highest level in 2013 presidential elections petition. The Supreme Court, adopting the Midhurst versus Lau test, held that proving non-compliance will not justify voiding a pool if the election was really and in substance conducted under the law and result was not and could not reasonably be supposed to have been affected. This is settled doctrine of substantial compliance. Elections are to be upheld where breaches do not overturn the people's choice. The court itself accepted many defects were mere administrative errors, clerical errors, and that could be addressed through scrutiny or recollation under the law. The petitioner's own originally reflected this reality. He sought targeted relief in only 41 polling stations, not a wholesale cancellation of the constituency's choice. The evidence was clear. Every single Form 8A existed. The results was gazetted. The raw materials to ascertain the true will of the people were all present and available. Despite this, the court straight away went to the harshest of the three Section 19 outcomes, a full constituency-wide rerun. Its justification that some collation materials were destroyed. How can this be? The petitioners themselves presented 41 polling stations as disputed. And then the judge said, oh, you brought 41, don't worry, I'll give you all the 151. How ridiculous. But the judgment provides no convincing reason why the loss of these materials made it possible to reconstruct the lawful majority from the existing Form 8As. It offers no justification for why narrower remedies, a scrutiny, a retabulation, or at most a limited rerun were inadequate or even considered. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the core, unforgivable flaw, where our case law insists on proportionate vote-preserving remedies. This judgment defaults to nuclear relief, where precedent command caution to respect the sovereign will. This court exercised caprice. It did not use Section 19 in the careful constitution-compliant manner. It acted not as a guardian of constitutional rights, but as an agent of their destruction. This is not a lawful judicial order. It is a fatal constitutional dereliction. Put differently, this is not justice. This is judicial brutality against the sovereign will of the people. Now, let me turn your attention to the most dangerous precedent in this judgment: rewarding violence. Now, we arrive at the most outrageous, the most terrifying part of this abomination. It was the violent criminal act of the petitioner's supporters that forced the relocation of the coalition. The petitioner marshaled his supporters to go and destroy electoral materials. They vandalized the center. They destroyed materials. And this created terror. And that is why the Electoral Commission had to relocate the coalition center. And now, the judge declares that because the petitioner was not notified of the new venue, a venue made necessary by his own supporters' violence, the entire elections must be voided. Do you comprehend this perversity? Do you see this catastrophic precedent? There is an ancient, sacred legal principle. An evildoer must not benefit from his evils. The judgment violates that principle entirely. It rewards violence and chaos. The message is chilling. If you are losing an elections, create chaos, create tension, destroy the materials available, then run to the court and claim your rights have been violated. That is what is happening. If this stands, it will destroy our democracy. It will turn every elections into battleground. It will make thuggery profitable. This is not law, certainly. This will result in the death of our democracy. We categorically reject this monstrous principle. We call on the appellate courts of this land to uproot this poison before it infects our entire jurisprudence. Let this be heard by all. Our condemnation of this judicial abomination is marked not only by our decisive, unified, and lawful actions. The New Patriotic Party stands as one solid rock behind the Member of Parliament for Kpandai, Honorable Martin Enyindam. His fight is our fight. His cause is our cause. And his cause will be the cause of every New Patriotic Party member. With the full authority, resources, and total backing of the entire NPP, Honorable Enyindam has taken the following immediate and formidable legal actions. One, first, he has filed a seal of execution against the orders of this bogus judgment, halting any illegitimate rerun in its tracks. Number two, he has filed a powerful notice of appeal to the Court of Appeal, respectfully praying to the total overturn of this legal travesty. And third, recognizing the grave constitutional injury inflicted, he has initiated an application of certiorari at the Supreme Court, respectfully calling on the highest court of the land to quash this perverse judgment and restore constitutional order. We are deploying the full force of our legal arsenal within the framework of our law. Our weapons are the Constitution, precedents, and an unshakable commitment to justice. To the resilient people of Kpandai, Honorable Martin Enyindam and your people, we send this message directly to you. We see you clearly expressed will, written in the indelible ink of 3,732 votes. We hear your sovereign voice, which this judgment tried to silence. Do not lose heart. The New Patriotic Party has not abandoned you. We have not retreated. We are with you completely and unfadingly. We will walk every step of this legal journey with you. We will fight in every court at every hour, with every resource at our command, to defend the mandate of the mandate you freely gave. Your victory was legitimate. Your choice was just. And we will not rest until the choice is vindicated and your rightful member of parliament restored. This is our sacred pledge. Now, there's a sinister and a calculated agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, this catastrophic judgment did not happen in isolation. It is part of a deliberate pattern. It is a thread in a sinister, calculated agenda by the NDC and President Mahama to use captured state institutions to silence the opposition, suppress dissenting views, and hold Ghana's democracy hostage. Look at the fact, since assuming power, the NDC has waged relentless assault on democratic norms. The unlawful removal of the Chief Justice. In Ablekumanov, we witnessed the criminal annexation of our seat, a daylight robbery, state-sponsored thuggery, marred the partial rerun. Our stalwart, including Honorable Howard Kumsin and the Deputy National Organizer, Chris Lloyd, were beaten. They were harassed. The perpetrators received a mere court fine. We chose peace and stability and did not escalate. In Akwatia, votes were bought openly, shamelessly, and systematically. And let us never forget the vice chairman of the NDC, Sofu Avoka, and that of an NDC communicator, their chilling threat to eliminate the minority leader, my good self, and Honorable Anodompre. A reckless incitement still unanswered for in our courts. And this assault is not confined to our courtroom. We will see it now in even in the House of Parliament, that is a chamber, the People's House. We see the machinations to harass and intimidate members of the New Patriotic Party, to suppress their voices through a dishonest and autocratic misuse of rules of procedure, a clear breach of both the spirit and letter of the Constitution of Ghana. We know they have made our courageous minority leader and some party stalwarts their target, seeking to silence the most powerful voices in the New Patriotic Party that holds government to account. But let this warning echo through the corridors of Parliament, that we in the New Patriotic Party will not allow their evil plot to succeed in any way. We will have our say in that house. We will oppose their fraud, their corruption, their abuse of power, and with relentless clarity. We will use every legitimate tool within parliamentary practice to ensure that the voice of the people, as represented by their elected members, is never stifled by the tyranny of the majority. Attempting to mute the minority is an attack on democracy itself, and we shall resist it outrightly. But the NDC must never mistake our commitment to peace for weakness. They must never confuse our restraint for surrender. Now, they bring their outrageous Kpandai judgment. Now they threatened a showdown. Now they have the audacity to argue our lawfully elected candidate should not sit in parliament. This is not democracy. This is dictatorship, masquerading as law. The NPP puts the NDC on firm notice. We will not stand idle while you destroy our institutions. We will not be silent while you pervert justice. We will not allow you to criminally annex seats you could not win at the ballot box. And even the NDC schemes to enrich itself, governance, to entrench itself, governance collapses. Our senior high school students have started failing at record rates. Their futures are in jeopardy, and there is no plan. Gold Board and others sponsor the destruction of our water bodies through galamsey. Our rivers die, our forests vanish, and state institutions look away. 1 million tons of local rice rot whilst farmers weep. Insecurity rises. Ghanaians no longer feel safe in their own country. Electricity tariffs increased 3 times this year. Water up. This is not governance. 24-hour economy in shambles. This is catastrophic failure on an epic scale. This is not the Ghana we handed over to the NDC. Our unshakable commitment. Let me state clearly that we stand. The NPP is committed to constitutionalism, the rule of law, and responsible opposition. We reject violence. But commitment does not make us dormant. Constitutionalism does not mean accepting lawlessness from those in power. The rule of law applies to all, including government, judges, and the president. We have been patient. We have been restrained. We have prioritized peace, but our patience has limits. If the NDC continues on this path of institutional capture and democratic subversion, they will find a different NPP, a party ready to defend democracy with every lawful tool at its disposal. To the Court of Appeal and Supreme Court, the Kpandai judgment is fundamentally and catastrophically flawed. It misapplies the law, ignores regulation, manipulates evidence and abandons proportionality, and rewards violence. These are not minor errors. These are defects that strike the heart of electoral justice. We respectfully urge you to set this dangerous judgment aside. Restore the mandate of the people of Kpandai that Kpandai overwhelmingly gave. Uproot this vicious precedence. To President Mahama and the NDC, we see what you are doing. Every scheme, every plot. We will not be silent. We will not surrender. To the media, the people of Ghana, stay vigilant. Your democracy is under severe attack and threat. Speak up. Stand up. Do not let this country slip back into authoritarian rule. To our members and supporters, stay strong. Stay peaceful. Stay ready. The fight for Ghana's democracy is not over. It has just begun. And we shall win. And again, on this same matter, how the state plan to capture. The New Patriotic Party has taken serious note on a grave disclosure made on Joy FM's Newsfile program on 6th December 2025. These revelations cut to the heart of Ghana's democratic order, and raise urgent questions about coordinated interactions occurring under the guise of institutional independence. During a live panel discussion on Joy News Newsfile program on Saturday, December 6th, the Director of Communication Strategy and Research at the Office of Special Prosecutor revealed the existence of a government-sponsored WhatsApp group that includes officers of the OSP, security institutions, representations from the Supreme Court, hand-picked journalists, and civil society organization leaders. The shocking disclosure was confirmed by the host of the show, Mr. Samson Ladi Ayenini, who named Yoko, the Ghana Police Service, Shraj, and the OSP, and also representatives from the Supreme Court, judges, as some of the members on what, in our view, is a cabal. When Mr. Ayene, who is presumed to be independent host of Newsfile, explained that the government set up the WhatsApp group because we have been given work to do. What kind of work? We have been given, the government has given this group work to do. He exposed the rotten core. This is yet another irrefutable proof of President Mohammed's and the NDC's blueprint for an elective dictatorship. What has been exposed by element of this dark governance is the secret government-run virtual meeting place created by the office of the president to ensnare our nation's most critical independent voices and institutions. Supreme Court judges, the special prosecutor, investigative agencies, and hand-picked journalists are all on the take and on the same page, a page written and controlled by the NDC administration. This is not about fighting corruption. It is about muzzling the fighters of corruption. It is about fighting the fight against corruption. It is about corrupting anti-corruption institutions. The scheme is now clear. Criminalize the opposition in the false name of anti-corruption for partisan gains. 2, compromise and muzzle every watchdog, CSOs, judges, journalists, unions, clergy, from seeing, hearing, and speaking evil against this government. Ghanaians need to know, are journalists and CSOs leaders being paid for this conspiratorial service? And if so, are they paid with public funds? They must come clean on the job they have been tasked to perform. These are legitimate questions Ghanaians are asking. A democracy cannot function when security agencies, anti-corruption bodies, and elements of the judiciary engage in secret collaboration and in conspiracy with selected media and civil society actors. Such a dark and crooked enterprise neutralizes transparency, weakens accountability, and risks turning independent state institutions into instruments of coordinated partisan control. If these disclosures are accurate, and the evidence presented thus far suggests that they are, then Ghana faces one of the most serious institutional challenges of the Fourth Republic. The independence of the OSP is fundamentally compromised if senior staff of the office participate in coordinated and secret forums and platforms to conspire with journalists and CSOs. 2, Iyoko and police officers sharing information outside official channel may breach professional ethics and legal obligations. 3, judges appearing in informal networks with activists, media actors, security agencies, investigators, and prosecutors risk undermining confidence in judicial impartiality. These are not features of a healthy constitutional system. The NPP therefore calls for the following actions: a full public explanation from the OSP and other institutions regarding the purpose, membership, and operations of this secret WhatsApp platform. A parliamentary inquiry into this matter with all relevant individuals and institutions called to explain their roles in the nature of this group activities. 3, an audit, where necessary, to determine whether confidential material has been shared outside authorized channels. 4, administrative, professional or legal action where any breaches of protocol are confirmed. And 5, full transparency from any CSO leaders and journalists who are participants on this secret government WhatsApp group. These developments reinforce long-standing concerns that some influential voices in the media and civil society are not operating with the independence expected of them when actors who shape public opinion coordinate secret and state institutions. Confidence in oversight, fairness, accountability are sacrificed and democracy suffers. The NPP remains committed to defending the integrity of Ghana's democratic institutions. That commitments require preventing any informal networks, whether within politics, civil society, or the media, from compromising our institutional neutrality and influencing decision-making, including investigative, prosecutorial, and judicial decisions outside established channels. We therefore urge Ghanaians to demand clarity and insist on full disclosure about the mission and motive of this secret government cum civil society underground group. We must insist on transparency because the future of our democracy depends on this. In conclusion, the people of Kpandai voted freely. They chose their member of parliament by crushing margin of 3,734 votes. The vote is sacred. The voice is sovereign. A flawed judgment cannot silence it. A captured judiciary cannot overturn it. Violence cannot be rewarded. Thuggery cannot triumph. The New Patriotic Party stands today as a fierce defender of the vote, the voice, and Ghanaians' democracy. We will pursue lawful means to abort this travesty. We will fight. We will protect this constitution. We will never surrender. We will never give up on Ghana. God bless the New Patriotic Party. God bless our beloved Ghana. And may God defend our democracy against all enemies. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Minuanom adofo media for yeshemu ha. Ene ma mienu na yede frɛ mu ma mo hwɛ me a me hyetuntum. Good morning, distinguished media members of the press. Good afternoon, distinguished members of the press, members of the New Patriotic Party, fellow Ghanaians. Today marks what the gold board about and no and na Emma Galam say no kwa edi enya sanse omoto eye
You're welcome back. Just gone by is a press conference by the NPP, who are addressing a number of issues, one being the Kpandai vacant seat. The NPP is demanding a reversal of a decision by Parliament to send a letter to the Electoral Commission declaring the seat vacant. The party also raised concerns with the WhatsApp group formed by government and some CSOs. They are asking for investigations into this particular WhatsApp group and are asking that the WhatsApp group be immediately dissolved. As we speak, Parliament is still on suspension. They are waiting for the leadership of the House and the Speaker to return to the House to resume the debate on the vacancy seat. As you recall, some few minutes ago, we brought you a live coverage of a sitting of the House where the minority raised concerns with the removal of the Kpandai MP, Matthew Yendam. There was a debate going on when the minority decided to disrupt the sitting. The Speaker, who was then chairing the sitting, decided to put the sitting on hold and suspend the ongoing debate. As we speak, we are not too sure of what is happening in the meeting with the Speaker and the leadership of the House, but we'll come and bring you live coverage of the sitting when it resumes in some few minutes. For now, we'll return to normal programming. Thank you.
This Christmas Eve, skip the ordinary and step into the extraordinary. Welcome to the Situation All White Party 2025, where the music never stops, the energy never drops, and the fun never ends. Celebrating grand style with great music, irresistible food, and an atmosphere that screams good vibes only. Date 24th December 2025. Venue Good Park near the Accra Mall. Time 8 p.m. till late. Dress code, it's an all-white affair. Get ready for electrifying live performances from Kofi Kinata, Perez Music, Inchin Chin Band,